are we jumping into like our thoughts about this? Like, do you
Well,
want to just go straight into it?
what my hot take wanted to be was, I genuinely think this is the worst quote unquote E3 we have ever had, because I've left this going, there is barely anything for me. And depending on which stream you watched, you basically got the sense that if you're not a Twitch streamer or 18, this was not a week for you, because it was desolate. It was Soulsborne games, horror games, and first-person shooters up the wazoo for 7 days, unless you watched all the indie streams, then in which case you got a lot of other interesting stuff. But if you watch the main three, if you are a niche gamer, you got like 10% the entire week. And I know this because my top 5 is like all sort of AA indie games. There is not a AAA game on my fucking list. So we'll get into that deeper. But like, my biggest takeaway from this week, personally for me, is I'm realizing very quickly, and I said it several times on the streams. By the way, for anyone who stuck with me during those live streams, thank you, and I'm sorry that you had to suffer with me. But the thing that I learned is that I think I'm no longer the target market anywhere, because none of these shows were designed for remotely close of my demographic.
There was no Pinky Mascot 2. There was not.
Yeah, you're right. There was no Promise Mascot Agency 2, unfortunately.
It's in the works.
But I'm sure people will be like, but RGG Studio gave you a new like sort of Yakuza game. I'm like, yeah, but I saw just a cinematic. I didn't even get to see some wacky shit yet. It doesn't count. But yeah, that's my initial hot take. I'm still warming up, but I'll let you guys have a chance here. What were your overall thoughts on? We could obviously talk about some of the stuff that I know, Chris, you watched all this other side stuff like PC Gaming Show, Future Game Show, and stuff. But like, just with the main three, what were your general takeaways from them?
For me, I had parts I was actually surprised at, so I would throw that at the state of play. I was surprised in the sense that I thought it was going to be completely awful, and I thought that one wasn't actually awful. I wouldn't say it's great or anything, but it definitely wasn't.
On the poster.
Yeah, just we're not awful. We're just kind of okay. And then I had parts that I was shocked at how disappointing they were. I'll just say that for now. Like there was
like when
some,
it comes to the individual shows, we'll get into that too, because Lord knows I've got some stuff to say.
Yeah. What about you, Kaylan?
For me, it wasn't bad. Like, for full disclaimer, we'll get into it when we do individual shows. Summer Game Fest, I didn't watch it, and that will reflect on Summer Game Fest, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But like, seeing the major two, the PlayStation and the Xbox, I felt they both like did okay. I mean, the expectations were low for Sony, and they exceeded them. And I feel like the expectations for Xbox were high, and they met them. And I think that's both a success for both of them. I think one was clearly stronger than the other. But yeah, like it's not the grandeur that we used to have with E3, but definitely wasn't a waste of time, so to speak. Like, I didn't feel like, what the hell am I doing watching this? But not to the grandeur of that. Weirdly, like you were talking, it was a Soulsborne and horror game. I felt it was the year of like fighters. It was like every show had at least 3 different like fighters, and I was like, this is a weird thing that there's so many different like 2D fighting games, to the point that Sony even made a dedicated fighting table controller. And it's like, is fighting that big of a genre? Like, I feel like it's a pretty niche area to be in, but yeah.
It's pretty popular, maybe not as much like around our area and stuff, but there's tons of tournaments and some people that are like huge market, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I just like, it looked like there was so many that it's like, man, that market's going to be so saturated so quickly that these all can't survive, because we have like a Marvel one, we have a, what is it? Is it Invincible is the other?
Yeah, that was at the Xbox
brand
one.
Yeah.
And like, I felt like there was a couple others that I can't even think of, and it's like,
I don't think there were that many like, unless you're talking like the beat 'em up games as well, because like I don't remember there being that many fighters. Like there was the Mortal Kombat collection that they're re-releasing. Yep. There was the Marvel one. There was the Invincible one. There was like some Street Fighter 6 like DLC like character stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I just like maybe it wasn't. It felt overrepresented, in my opinion.